Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, a little after 4 o'clock here on Unfiltered. We got Gimme More at 4 with Silvana coming up. Then I'm going to play a clip of Jimmy Rollins for you on MLB Network that if you weren't already worried about the Phillies, he scared the crap out of me, Ricky Bo. We'll get to that a little bit later. We got
Who scared you?
Jimmy Rollins. We got Scotty Hartnell joining us at 5 o'clock to get us ready for Game 5 tonight in Pittsburgh. We haven't really talked a lot of Flyers yet today because there's been so much going on with the Phillies, Sixers, and then recapping the NFL draft. But eventually we got to get to Rick Tocchet, what's looking like his decision to scratch Matvei Michkov tonight. Nothing official yet, but we'll talk about that as well. And remember, we hear you coming up at 5:25. So get your voice memos in on everything going on. It has been a busy few days for Philadelphia sports. So get your voice memos into the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975, and we'll certainly bring you any breaking news if it comes from the Phillies with regard to their coaching staff. But nothing yet, and Ricky Bo's not hearing anything
No,
just
I
yet.
haven't heard anything, and I've been searching.
So we'll bring it to you. Just stay with us until 6 o'clock, and then we'll turn things over to our Flyers pregame. But now, we haven't done it in a couple of shows because there's been so much stuff happening. But Silvana Kelleher makes her triumphant return for Gimme More at 4. Hit it, Sil.
Now give me more at 4 with Silvana.
Because you can never get enough.
All right, funny enough, for my triumphant return, we're actually going to play an audio clip from someone else on this station because I don't know if you've seen on 97.5 The Fanatic Instagram or Twitter, content from Ray Dunn has been top tier down at Stateside Live and outside of Xfinity Mobile Arena, has been absolutely great, but he did a little video the other day for the Flyers, and well, let's take a listen.
What would you say to Owen Tippett right now?
I love you, buddy.
Same question, but Porter Martone.
I'm his mom.
That's amazing.
Porter's mom.
We've got Porter's mom with us right now. Oh, my God. This is even better. All right. How are the boys feeling right now?
They're so pumped. They cannot wait for tonight.
And what brings you out to Stateside before the game?
This is the place to be. Everyone's rallying. Everyone's cheering. We just want to be here with the.
Couldn't imagine a better place to be for this.
I can't believe, just from my perspective, 19 years old, doing what he's doing right now. Like, I'm in awe. I'm 26. I could barely put the right shoe on the foot, you know? Like, to see him doing what he's doing. I don't even know if you can put into words how proud you are of him right now, but how is he able to keep it together and so focused at such a young age?
I just think it's because it's just innate in who he is, and he has a passion for it like I can't even explain. So I think for him, looking at it as a mom, I'm like, it's just who he is from the beginning.
What a pull from Ray Dunn.
Yeah,
what
it was amazing. And Silvana's right. If you haven't seen these yet, our man on the street videos that Ray's been doing down there for Flyers and Sixers games.
That was a pull that he didn't know he was pulling.
No.
Well, yeah, watching his reaction in the video is great because he thinks he's just talking to two random fans.
And he pulls Martone's mom.
Yes.
And
asks her about Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Owen, the woman who said, I love you, buddy, about Owen Tippett apparently stayed with her in Canada when he was playing juniors.
How great is that?
So that's why she says, I love you, buddy, which was kind of like at first, when you think it's a random fan, like, I love you, buddy. Like, all right, yeah, she really loves Owen Tippett.
It seems personal.
Yeah, it was because she was his mom for a little while while he played juniors.
People got to understand that, these guys are young when they go and play in the minor leagues, so they usually get like a house mom.
Yeah.
And, well, she's a house mom.
The word she used, and there was no way Ray knew what she meant by it, she said, I billeted, him, which is like for lodging and stuff, right? Billeted is the word.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea what that means either.
Yeah, billeted is what she said. Ray didn't know.
No clue.
But yeah, what a pull, because most of the people he were talking to were random fans.
Yeah.
The best part of these Man on the Street videos is he talked to fans going into the game, and then he would talk to fans leaving the game, and the vibe between them going in and them coming out could not have been worldly different.
Well, what would you
awesome,
expect? I mean, things are different after a loss.
Well,
things are
especially-
great going in. You're fired up. You probably had a couple cocktails. You're ready to go.
There was definitely more cocktails on the way out.
You know what it is? It's like the night, and then it's the hangover.
Yes.
That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
there was a lot of intoxicated individuals, I think, screaming at,
a lot
at
of
Ray
bleeps.
Dunn.
Well, what would
A lot
you
of
have been?
bleeps.
I actually don't like to drink for games. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
to have my senses.
See, that's no fun.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I watch
like
games with a different.
I just like to lose my mind, so it doesn't matter either way.
well, like
Yeah, you don't need nothing to do
I'm
that.
not fun to watch the games with. Like, in fact, my wife said this to me the other night. We were sitting down to watch the Flyers game, and she's like, "Do you
Bring
really
your yellow notebook with
That's
you?
exactly what my wife said. Do you
Why?
really need your yellow notepad?
You don't. Watching hockey?
Every game, I like to take notes.
You don't have a good memory, do you?
I like to take notes.
I
You
agree.
don't have a good memory,
I'm
do
right
you?
there with him.
yeah, but you
have to
could
take
miss
notes.
things. You might
Yes.
miss things.
I don't miss anything.
You notice trends when you're making.
When you're
notes.
doing Phillies pre and post, you don't take any notes?
Zero.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, that's just because you're a different breed.
Yeah.
Why would I
Fair
take
breed.
notes?
Yeah, you and DeCecco both have like a photographic memory.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. Like, if something sticks out to you, you remember it.
Yeah, but I like to write down like,
I do. I think football's like the easiest to remember.
oh, I write down so many notes for football
But it's
games.
easiest to remember. Why am I writing down each play when I could just look at it online?
Well, it's not that. Like, I would write down, for instance, if I'm watching the Flyers, maybe, what happened with a certain playoff sequence, or, a penalty sequence and a power play, or where I thought they lost momentum or gained momentum. Like, I like to try to
And
remember
what-
those things.
So you're writing this stuff down, and then the Flyers score, and you're like, I'll just erase all that.
No, and then I'll put, a little asterisk with a goal, and I don't know. I have my own system, all right?
I would hate to watch the game with you.
That's why I usually watch games alone in my basement.
Well,
Yes.
I've watched the baseball game with you. I don't remember if you were taking notes.
In the press box, I think
Yeah.
I had my notepad.
That is,
Yeah.
so
I don't know why you think that's so weird.
Because I can't. I want to enjoy the game, but take it in. All I have to do is watch it.
I will say this.
This thing right here, it's a sponge. It is a sponge.
He's talking about his.
Wait, why'd you post that picture of the stupid groundhog the other day? And you never answered my
scratching.
Yeah, you never answered my message.
I can't tell you that.
Why did you post that?
I didn't mean to post it. I meant to. Somebody else actually did it and posted it by accident.
I didn't see this.
What?
I'll have to check it out.
It's
posted that
my
stupid
profile
groundhog.
pic.
Ah, I got to check it out. All right, what else you
He's
got for
not
us, Silvana?
stupid.
Of course,
That's Gus.
God, he's such an old man.
What else you got?
What am I looking at?
You're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles championship wide receiver Devonta Smith. He's going to headline AverFest. We play cousins.
Well, does your play cousin play music?
I play football.
Well, that's useless to me. Everybody comes to AverFest for a concert.
I can play the recorder. I can't play the recorder. They made me go to football practice instead of first grade music, which it kind of worked out.
Philly's best, Devonta Smith.
Hey, did he bring his Super Bowl ring?
Did he bring his Super Bowl ring? Did he bring his Super Bowl ring?
That's Devonta Smith making his acting debut on Abbott Elementary. I mean, he is just such a likable guy.
Yeah, listen, I couldn't
so
see it. I'm
freaking
listening to
likable.
it, but it sounds like he was a pretty good actor.
Oh, yeah, like
And he was on set.
natural.
No, I'm asking. Did
Yes.
you see it?
Yes,
he was on set, right?
Yes.
Well, when Jalen did hers. When Jalen did his, he was on
Online,
like a
right?
Zoom,
Yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah,
I think so, but I don't. Yeah,
like because he was supposed to be talking to the class, and he did like a Zoom.
Gotcha.
To
yeah.
the class.
Devontae was there, like he was playing little drills with the kids with the football. Like it was really cool. He's pretty natural though, but I do really want to know if that first grade bit, like, was he actually missing first grade music class to play football in first grade?
Maybe.
I want to know if that's real. I can't imagine he would. That would. I don't know. That could be scripted, but that's crazy.
Do you think they scripted that on purpose?
I don't know. I've never watched Abbott Elementary, by the way. It's a confession of mine. I know I got to watch it. Yeah.
It's a great show. It really is.
That's what I've heard.
Really
Well,
is.
I can't believe you didn't see this one then.
I
If you
haven't.
love
I
it so
haven't watched
much.
it. I've been watching a lot of sports lately.
Have you?
Yeah, there's been a little bit going on in the city of Philadelphia.
I
What
haven't
is
watched
up
it yet
with you?
either. What? I'm
You
just
just
trying to
said
poke
you
the
watched
bear.
it, then you just told me you didn't watch it. Why are you
No,
throwing
I
balls at
watched
me?
the scene.
Oh,
you
thank
just hit
God
the
this-
microphone.
Thank God the mic got blocked. It. He threw that with some
goodness.
heat. All right, you got one more story for us?
Time-wise, I mean, my other thing was just going to be that I just wanted to know if you saw that Russell Wilson was playing for the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah,
I did see that.
At Yankee Stadium.
I wanted to bring up the fact that I want Ricky Bo to play for the Savannah Bananas. Just one game.
You do know that Russell Wilson was a really good baseball player.
Yeah, he got drafted, right?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes, but I are you saying you're not a really good baseball player and you can't also play for the Savannah Bananas?
I would do it.
Yeah, we should do it.
Can I email someone?
Yeah, let's get Ricky Bo,
I don't
Savannah
know if
Bananas.
they're here this year.
If they come to Philly,
You can travel.
you should
Ricky.
get the last All-Star.
We'll do a whole trip out of it.
All right, as we're talking baseball, that's a nice transition to Jimmy Rollins. Good stuff, Silvana. And I had my kind bar, so here comes the coffin.
Oh my god,
he's got nuts in his mouth again. He cannot. He's allergic to the nuts.
He's allergic to something. This is not.
It's got to be the nuts that are in the candy
every day at 4 o'clock.
I call it a candy. It's not even a candy bar.
See, at the very least, I feel like the company Kind, should probably sponsor the show.
Don't you understand that you are allergic to nuts?
I know, but they're so good, man. The Kind bars. Don't look at me like that.
You ever tried the almond butter ones?
Yeah, I've had those too. I've had all the different flavors, but I like the dark chocolate ones.
But how dumb is this that he continues to eat the nuts in the candy bar?
I must be allergic to.
We know he's not the brightest.
And he keeps trying to talk afterwards.
Like, if anything.
I just saw him eating it, and you know what I said? The next thing I said is, here we go. He's not going to be able to talk.
Why don't you eat it before or after the show? Rather than 4 o'clock in the middle.
Sooner or later, your throat's going to close up, and it's going to be me and you. So
well, I need to eat every 3 hours.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo.
All right, speaking of baseball, though, you mentioned the Savannah Bananas. Let's talk about Jimmy Rollins for a second.
Please.
All right, we'll switch gears here. Because a lot of people are frustrated with this Phillies team. How could you not be? But you said something, I guess it was about a week or two ago, Ricky, about could we see this? Is this window now closed on this team as constructed, where you've built around Harper, Schwarber, Turner, JT? Well, Jimmy Rollins is starting to have that same fear. Here's what he said on the MLB Network yesterday.
The Phillies, I just hope it's not like we were at the end of our run. You know, we were the same group of guys. We were just older. And I'm looking at the ages of these guys in their mid-30s. In the game, you're older. Mm-hmm. You're not old in life. And we know it doesn't get easier as you see teams start to get younger and their prospects start to come up, a la the Pittsburgh Pirates. But it's hard to go up there as being a Phillies fan if you're in Philadelphia or a fan of baseball. And it's something that's really around the game, seeing not everybody, but a lot of averages that are sitting at 130, 140, 150. Yeah. And it's a weak 130, 140, 150. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jimmy Rollins in there, a lot of good stuff. But the part that jumped out at me is I hope it's not like we were at the end of our run, because every Phillies fan remembers after 2012, you went 10 damn seasons without postseason baseball, Ricky. Yeah. So if this is what we are seeing right now, the end of their run, knowing you got all these guys still under contract, not only your position players, but now this starting rotation that's looked bad, are we thinking about a potential 5 to 10 years of no Red October? Could that be what we're headed towards? Because that would be the most depressing thing I've heard all day.
I'm going to try to take you off of the ledge here and off of the high wire, because I firmly believe that it wouldn't happen to all these guys at the same time. And here's the question to ask yourself. Bryce Harper's hitting the baseball this year. He looks pretty good. Kyle Schwarber's got 9 home runs. He's on pace for 52.
He is hitting under 200, though.
Yes, he is. I understand. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we glaze over that.
I did glaze over it because I think Kyle Schwarber is here for one thing and one thing only. What's he here for? Home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fine with what he does. Aaron Nola, I don't have a good answer for that one. But I don't think they're all getting old at the exact same time. Do I agree with Jimmy on yes, after 30 you start getting a little bit older for baseball? I do. I would say for me it was about 33, 34 in that area.
Well, I guess here's the bigger issue.
And I still got 2 more years out of it.
But you're right when you say, like, Harper and Schwarber haven't necessarily been bad, and they're the guys who are getting older. But you're going to waste this season. Mm-hmm. And then there might not be baseball in 2027 because of the lockout. So
then you're up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah, because now we're into 2028, and you're not going to get this version of Harper and Schwarber most likely. Turner's having a terrible season. There's no way JT Realmuto is going to be better 2 years from now. You might not have Zach Wheeler, who came back on Saturday, and unfortunately, we haven't even really talked about Zach Wheeler's return because it's been completely steamrolled by all the negativity with this Phillies team. You probably don't have him in 2028. Nola's not going to be better in 2028. Like, you start to see, like, oh my God, this team could be in trouble. We could be in purgatory for a few seasons without playoff baseball. A decade, maybe, like you got after the 2012 season. I mean, we've been spoiled with playoff baseball.
You're guaranteed you're up the creek without a paddle for if it were to happen this year, you're guaranteed 5 more years of this. If they were to get old now, you're guaranteed 5 years of it. And where does that really put you in a sense that Aiden Miller's got a bad back right now? Alec Boehm has not done anything. Bryson Stott has not lived up to his potential, at least not yet. Brandon Marsh has. Okay, so there you go. You got Brandon Marsh.
Justin Crawford. He's an exciting piece.
But is he a cornerstone? I mean, he'll be here, but is he the one guy that you say, wow, that's the guy you want to build around?
TBD, I guess.
There is a TBD, but who else?
Yeah, Aiden Miller, big question.
What if the pitching staff is what they are now?
Now, there's nothing you could do at that point. Because you can't get out from under these contracts now.
No, you're stuck. Right now, you're stuck with Nola. I mean, Wheeler's a come and go because I think he's got 1 year out on it. So you're stuck with Nola, Luzardo,
and Sanchez.
Painter. Well, Painter's here right now.
Yeah.
You are stuck with Harper, Turner, JT, Schwarber. I think that's it.
And that's it. But that's a big... We say that's it. That's a ton of money right there in that pitching staff.
8 contracts. And that's your main core of your team.
All right, so what do they do, though, now? We're worried about the future, but let's worry about right now. There's still no news coming from the Phillies with regard to any changes. Before we switch things over and start getting flyered up for tonight's Game 5, and we also will get back to some NFL draft recap for you as well, because a lot of people haven't had a chance to hear our opinions about what the Eagles did over the last few days. Let's look at what's going on, though, with the Phillies potentially making a change at manager, because Bob Nightingale of USA Today does a great job covering Major League Baseball. He joined Middays today to talk about what could dictate Rob Thompson's future, and it has something to do with what just happened in Boston with the Red Sox. We'll get to that coming up right after this, Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Flyers game tonight, Game 5 in Pittsburgh. We will certainly turn our attention to the Flyers a little bit later. We'll have Scotty Hartnell joining us at 5 o'clock to break it all down. As the Penguins look to stay alive, the Flyers look to close things out. But
did you see what she just tried doing to me?
Who's that?
Silvana?
No.
I was singing the
she put the mic on?
And she turned my mic on.
Ricky had his mic off. She almost caught you.
Unfortunately, he caught it.
Almost caught you. But we'll get to the Flyers a little bit later. We will do a little NFL draft recap for you as well on everything the Philadelphia Eagles did. But I want to keep it with the Phillies right now because there is still no news coming out from the Phillies organization about making a change. And a lot of people assumed if they were going to do something, it would have been today because it's an off day as they come back from a road trip that saw them go, 1-6 on that road trip, Ricky? Is that right? 1-6?
1-6, yes. They won Saturday in Atlanta.
And now they've lost 11 of 12, and they are in the basement of the National League. Not a good look. But Bob Nightingale, who covers Major League Baseball for USA Today, been around the game a really long time, he wrote an article saying that essentially Alex Cora, who was just fired by the Boston Red Sox along with 5 other coaches on the Red Sox staff, could be who Dave Dombrowski wants to bring in here, and that might impact what the Phillies end up doing. Well, Nightingale joined Johnny Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn earlier today. Here's what he said about Alex Cora and the Phillies.
Could. Yeah, but I think they're trying to decide now, what to do. The fact that Alex Cora, is out there. That's what makes, I think, Rob Thompson's job more tenuous. Just the fact that Cora and Dave Dombrowski are so close. Cora loves Dombrowski. Dombrowski loves Cora. They want to roll series together. I think the fact that he's out there, it may depend on what Cora wants to do. Does he want to sit out all year, or does he want to jump right back in the saddle? Cora's decision is going to be a big fact on the Rob Thompson decision.
All right, so Cora and Dombrowski have a history together. Dombrowski hired him in Boston, and then they won the World Series in Cora's first year there. He's won 3 World Series, one as a player, one as an assistant coach with the Astros, and then he got suspended because of their cheating allegations. Not even allegations, for their cheating, period. And then he won one as the manager of the Red Sox. But there's a couple of hurdles here, Ricky. Everything I'm reading, according to the rules in Major League Baseball, would require a whole interview process, right? I don't think Dombrowski could just turn around, fire Thompson, and then hire Cora.
He probably could be interviewing him now
without firing Thompson.
Can you not do that?
I don't know if the MLBPA allows that. I got to look at what the exact rules require. Because I remember there being, like, the reason why when they fire a guy, they name someone interim is because you can't fire someone and just immediately name a manager without doing that formal interview process. I think there's a MLBPA.
If his idea was to go to Cora almost immediately, he's had to have already had contact with him, right? You're not gonna just sit there and say, "Oh, how about we just hire Cora?" and he has no idea about it.
All right, so there is just like there's the Rooney rule in the NFL, there's the C-League rule, which would require teams to interview at least one minority candidate for the manager.
Right. He is a minority.
So would that satisfy that?
Well, he is one, isn't he?
So they could just hire him. They could do that interview and just hire him, right? Wouldn't that just be enough? But putting the rules aside, let's assume they could do it, right? Let's assume they could do it. Ricky Bottalico, you're the man calling the shots. Would you, 1, fire Rob Thompson, and then 2, immediately hire Alex Cora as manager? What would you do?
I would probably go interim.
With someone already on staff.
Dusty Wathan would be my pick.
Not Mattingly.
Everybody's saying Mattingly. Number one, there may be a couple issues here. I don't think he really wants to manage. That's first and foremost. Secondly, his son's the GM. Wouldn't that be a little odd? I don't know if that's a conflict of interest. Would that be in, like, for the team? Would that be in good nature to do that?
Well, I guess if it was an interim basis, then not a big deal. If it was just, hey, you're the manager for the rest of the year, we know you don't want to manage A, and we don't want there to be any conflict with our GM B, so it's an interim thing. But then I guess what if he goes on a run like Rob Thompson did? Then you want to keep him.
Then you would have every right to keep him, I guess. But it's a weird situation there. And this is so early in the season that, I mean, you kind of want some permanent or somebody who's been there, done that, and somebody who knows these players. So to me, it would be Dusty Wathan.
Now, would you, though? Because last week when you and I spoke about
usually it's the bench coach.
Which would be Mattingly, right? Oh, no.
Calitri.
Yeah, Calitri's the bench coach. Yeah. What's Mattingly's title?
I think he's like assistant bench coach. I think he is a bench coach.
But you would go with Dusty. But last week when you and I spoke about this, I asked you, what would you do in terms of trying to shake things up? And you said you would fire Kevin Long first.
I would go, I said Long, but I would say one of those coaches because it could be Caleb.
But
because the pitching is doing garbage too.
So you would not go to the head of the snake, so to speak.
You could. I mean, I have really kind of mulled this over a lot. Like, what would you do? Like, what direction would you go? What is going to do something to shock the team, but not shock them into I don't want to play anymore? Probably, you know what I mean? You're trying to wake up your team. So would getting rid of Kevin Long do it? I don't know. He hasn't really done anything wrong, but there's always a scapegoat, isn't there? I've talked to Milt Thompson before. He was kind of a scapegoat for that team in the same type of situation.
I think it's got to be Rob, and I don't even blame Rob entirely, but I think you got to You don't have time to waste, because if you fire Kevin Long or you fire Caleb Cotham, the pitching coach, what if the team still struggles? Then what are you doing? Like, I think you fire Rob Thompson to hopefully wake this team up, and if they still struggle, well, then guess what? Nothing's going to fix this team. But a lot of people are weighing in. Get your voice memos in for We Hear You, 610-632-0975 to the Davis Honda text line. You can get your text in as well. Let's go to the phone lines, though, because Joe from Delco wants to weigh in on this conversation. Joe, what's going on, man?
How we doing, guys?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I think more of the issue with the Phillies isn't Topper. It really isn't. It's Dombrowski with this roster construction. I mean, did you fire Thompson during this horrible campaign he's been going on? Probably. Is it worth it? No. But Topper's a clubhouse guy. But the issue really lies within Dombrowski.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Joe,
but we still go back to what is the question you're trying to answer? What will wake up this team?
Yeah, and firing Dombrowski, I don't think does that.
I don't think he's. What's he going to do? He's not changing anything right now.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I think Dombrowski is the biggest issue.
And the other issue with that is Preston Mattingly just steps right in there.
Yeah, and it doesn't provide the wake-up call. But I think Joe's right. If I'm assigning blame for what's going on, for me, primarily it's Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah.
Now, I just played that clip of Nightingale, though, talking about how Alex Cora might be who Dombrowski wants. We think Dombrowski, me and Joe say, hey, Dombrowski deserves to be fired. Well, Nightingale was also asked about Dombrowski's job security. And if you're someone who wants to see them move on from Dave, either now or in the offseason, you're going to hate what Nightingale said. Listen to this.
No, I think Dave Dombrowski is just safer than anybody in the organization. I don't think he's going anywhere. John Middleton loves Dave Dombrowski. I know he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. So no, I don't think Dave's job's in jeopardy. Not now, not to the end of the season. I think he can stay there as long as he wants. He'll walk away on his own. So I don't think he's in any danger whatsoever.
I have a hard time buying into this. I get it. But you're giving away a lot of John Middleton's money. What other way do you look at this? If you had somebody working for you and they kept giving away all your money, I don't care how good of friends you are or how much you respect that person, I think there's going to be a breaking point. I don't know if they've hit that breaking point now, but when you look at what moves have really kind of gone correctly.
Oh, man, it's easier to remember the ones that haven't gone correctly.
You know what? Dave might as well. I mean, as long as he's done everything else, he might as well extend Harper now.
Give him the extension he wants.
That was a good one, Ricky.
But listen, like one of the biggest moves that we gave Dombrowski credit for was the Luzardo move last year.
Yeah.
Well,
now that's falling apart.
Questions on that. The Duran trade at the deadline. Okay, well, he's injured right now, but Duran was a move. I mean, what else would you really give him credit for? He did bring Schwarber here before, but now you give him a 5-year deal worth a ton of money. Was that the right move? Was getting JT back at 3 years the right move? Doesn't look like it. So I don't know.
In all honesty, nothing looks right now.
The Castellanos move was terrible.
The whole no, he stinks there.
No. I'm saying when you look at the contract he gave him,
yes,
you're just eating it now.
The contract was bad. You're eating, you ate $19-point-something million of it. You're eating another $15 million of Taiwan Walker. That's a lot of money that you're just throwing into the gutter.
Yeah, the bad moves are coming to mind more than the good moves.
Well, the good moves are hard to find.
And
you still haven't named one, have you?
I'm trying to think. What was Dave Dombrowski's best move?
I guess the trade for Duran.
And the first contract he gave Schwarber.
Correct.
Right? Schwarber outplayed that contract.
Yes, but in the same year, you gave a 5-year deal to Nick Castellanos.
So they almost wash out.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Casti, although I was happy they moved on, he wasn't all terrible during those few years.
Castellanos was good at times. I mean, there were some issues that they felt like they had to rid themselves of. And once that happens, you can't kind of look back. You can't turn back time. That's the biggest problem I think you had with Castellanos. You just can't turn back time. Was he a decent player? Yeah, he was. got the job done. And then
time, I'd give it all to you. Come on, Ricky Bo.
What up, Sil? What up, Sil? What up, Sil?
Oh, you're allowed to sing? I'm not?
Go, Sil. Go, Sil.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
I don't really either.
All right.
Bill started this mess.
You're like a half hour too early.
Bill.
Apparently nobody knows what's going on because the Phillies haven't done anything yet. So we're asking you, what would you do if you were the Phillies? The phone lines are blowing up. The text line's blowing up.
Well, what are you going to do?
Get your voicemail.
Master?
I'm firing Rob Thompson. Even though I don't blame him, to me, that is, you have to hit the panic button at this point. You can't afford to lose the season. So I don't think a half measure is going to do it. As much as I think Dombrowski deserves to lose his job, that doesn't do anything right now. I think you got to, desperate times call for desperate measures. You move on from Thompson, and you hopefully wake these guys up. And if not, it's a lost season, and then we'll worry about Dombrowski's job in the offseason. But I want to get a lot of people on the phone lines and the Davis Honda text line. We'll get to you coming up. We'll continue this Phillies conversation. We'll also give you a recap of what the Philadelphia Eagles have done over the last few days, because that's been the one positive in this city, with the Flyers losing, the Sixers getting crushed, and the Phillies continuing to struggle. At least Howie Roseman was doing Howie Roseman things. We'll get to that coming up next. Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. All right, we got Scotty Hartnell joining us at 5 o'clock to get you ready for Game 5 tonight. We'll also have our $1,000 parlay cash giveaway at 5 o'clock. Normally, we'd be checking the Twitter poll right now, but X is down in terms of Twitter polls because they never called Dr. Avidan Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health, who keeps the Twitter poll standing strong for all 4 hours. But before we switch gears and give you a little NFL draft recap and then get into Game 5 for the Flyers, a lot of people want to weigh in on what the Phillies are doing because it has been eerily quiet. In fact, during the break, Ricky and I were just talking about how you're not hearing much from any Phillies beat reporters right now, and I would have thought there would have been an announcement already that they were doing something. Firing Kevin Long, firing pitching coach Caleb Cotham, firing Rob Thompson. Nothing has been announced just yet, but a lot of people, phone lines blew up with what they want done to try to put a spark into this Phillies team. So let's go to the phones. Let's go to Anthony from Klein Township, who has an opinion about what he wants to see the Phillies do. What's going on, Anthony? Anthony!
I'm here, man.
There he is. So what's going on, Anthony? What do you want to see them do?
I want to see them start with Dombrowski. He's got to go. He put this team together. Then we go to Thompson because he mismanages this team so bad, it's ridiculous. The ever-changing lineups, the ever-changing platoons, just bad. Then let's go to the pitching. Cotham was brought in all the way back with the fashion plate. Kepler, he's got to go. He has no clue. Their matchups, it's just terrible.
So you would clean house entirely, though. You would fire Dombrowski and Thompson right now.
Dombrowski, Thompson, all the coaches, and then start with advanced scouting. The advanced scouting is horrible. These players don't know who they're playing against. They don't know who they're batting against. They don't know who they're pitching.
Yeah.
It's just organizational-wide failure.
Oh.
So what do you think, Ricky? You agree with him?
I think he's right now.
I just don't know, though. I keep saying firing Dombrowski right now doesn't do anything, but sure, if Middleton's going to step in and fire Dombrowski and the manager.
Okay, well, if you do both, that's fine. Now, if you were just to fire Dombrowski, I don't think the players would care. As a matter of fact, Scott Boras would probably be on the phone with the next GM immediately and say, hey, Bryce wants an extension.
Well, Bryce would probably be happy about it after the not elite comment.
Yeah, of course he would.
Right?
But, I mean, that's when it all started. The downfall started in the playoffs. It went to Dombrowski, went back to Harper. He sent it back to Dombrowski. Now we're sitting here in April wondering what's wrong with this team. We as a fan base should not be right here, right now. This team, the Philadelphia Phillies, should not be where they are right now. Think about the names on this team. Would you ever have thought, as a matter of fact, go back to opening day. Would you ever think the Phillies would have this bad of a record this quickly into the season?
No, because even the fan base that was worried about the run it back, the concerns always were, what are they going to do in October? I don't think anyone anticipated that they would be the worst team in baseball.
How about if I told you that they were going to be 10.5 games out of first place on April 27th?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would have predicted that.
That's impossible.
I really don't.
You know how hard that is to do?
Let's get a text in here because Silvana, I know the phone lines are blowing up, but so is the Davis Honda text line. What are people saying on the text board?
All right, Mike from Trenton, you cut the head of the snake first and fire Dombrowski. Shake the team up and fire Kevin Long. The batting coach is very close to a multitude of players, and that will hit harder than firing Thompson.
That's all fine and dandy, but I don't think the players care.
If they fire Kevin Long?
No, if they fire Dombrowski.
Oh, well, yeah, that texter was saying, though, do both. Fire Dombrowski and Long.
Okay, well, if you fire Kevin Long, that's different because I think that's where actual feelings come in. When you're a GM, sometimes you're not on the same side as players. We saw that with Dombrowski and Bryce Harper. When you are in the clubhouse every day, that's where you start cutting the head of the snake. So I think, you know what, within the clubhouse somewhere would make sense at first. But if you're going to get Kevin Long, are you not going to get Caleb Cotham?
You would do both. Is there any scenario where they would do all three? Where they say Rob's out, Long's out,
yes,
and
there
Cotham's
is.
out?
If they have the idea where Cora was going to be the new manager, or they have somebody in mind for the new manager, because the manager should get to pick who his crew is.
And Cora's guys were all fired in Boston because they cleaned house. They fired Cora and 5 of his staff, so they would be available. Now, Kevin Cooney just weighed in, by the way, because I'm saying how surprised I am that we haven't heard anything yet with today being an off day. And Kevin Cooney, who covered the Phillies for a really long time, he just texted me and said, remember, when they fired Girardi, it was Tuesday at 11:30 after an off day. So is there a chance this announcement comes tomorrow morning about the move they've made? Maybe they're spending the day getting all their ducks in a row. Who knows?
I think those ducks are already there. Well, the Phillies had 3 guys at the series in Atlanta. 3 of, quote-unquote, right-hand men.
So they could be really having all their plans laid out here.
Well, they you know what they have to do, and this was they probably flew back on the team plane, would be a guess. But you would think that they would come home, they would talk about their options like we are. You see how we're talking about different options, different things that could happen? I'm sure all these options have been thrown out there.
But doesn't Dombrowski look in the mirror at all?
Absolutely not.
We have a good club. It's a fine line
why
between
would you
us
look
and the
in the
Dodgers.
mirror when you probably have a constant contact with the guy who controls you?
You and I both said Dombrowski should be on the hot seat. I want to take this call because we're going down to D.C. Todd from D.C. is not blaming Dave Dombrowski. I want to hear this. What's going on, Todd?
Hey, guys, you know, I sometimes wonder if it's all Dave's fault because is there interference from the front office, from other people? Do they not let him make the moves that maybe he needs to make? Because some of the moves they've done have made no sense. They've retained players that couldn't perform on the field for years. I mean, Rojas, they wasted 2 years on a guy he couldn't hit. They haven't been able to hit for 3 years now.
Yeah, but Todd, what would lead you to believe that this is coming from the front office? Middleton has pretty much given him a blank check every offseason. I know they have some sort of budget, but you're talking about one of the top 3 or 4 payrolls in all of baseball. Anyone that Dombrowski wanted to go out and sign, I mean, even Bo Bichette, Middleton was willing to go over budget to bring in Bichette. So where are you blaming anyone but the guy who's actually picking the personnel?
Sometimes I think that they just like to keep guys for their entire career. I mean, they're he's ours, you know, and they don't want to let anybody go. And it's a performance job, and it's okay to keep a guy for 3 years and say thank you for your service and move on from him. But I don't know some of the moves they made, and I'll tell you I think one of the worst moves, and I'm okay with if they clean house. Because I think that everybody in the dugout, and what Ricky said earlier, including the analytics department, because how can you justify putting a guy out in center field that's hitting like 150 over a guy that's hitting almost 300?
Yeah, there's been a lot of questionable decisions. I mean, really, there's been a lot, but I don't blame John Middleton here.
Is Rob doing that just because he's trying to say, look what you gave me and I have to use these guys?
Putting Reyes at cleanup, Dylan Moore in center field? It could be. It could be, hey, it's not me.
See, here's the other thing. You don't know where that actually comes from. You don't know if Rob's the lineup maker. You don't know if he's the puppeteer. Do you?
No. Could be analytics. Could be Dave.
Analytics. Could be Dave. Could be coming down from anybody.
All right, so
hey, here's who you need to back cleanup. They don't take into analytics doesn't take into consideration that, you know what, Reyes has a mindset. You know what I mean? They take into consideration who they think should be in certain spots.
All right, so nothing yet. Kevin Cooney told us, remember, Girardi didn't get fired until Tuesday at 11:30. So if any news breaks, we'll certainly bring it to you. I know people were waiting for us to give you our NFL draft recap. We will do that in the 5 o'clock hour. But Scotty Hartnell will be joining us next to get us ready for Game 5 in Pittsburgh, Flyers and Penguins. And Hartnell knows a thing or two about a team coming back from 3-0. So let's see what his opinion is if the Penguins got any shot of it. And we also have our $1,000 cash giveaway coming up right after this. So keep it here unfiltered. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia.